right? Everyone's kind of, it's just like dating as you kind of described, right? It's like on the first, second, third, and fourth date, everyone's behaving. But maybe on the 6th or 10th date, you start to realize what the real person is. And so I like it it lets everyone kind of be themselves because they don't feel like they have to behave in a certain way. They're like, listen, you're free to date other people. We're free to date other people.
Yeah.
But let's see if this relationship works. And it's worked more times for us than it hasn't. I can say that.
So I don't have an answer to this. Maybe there isn't an answer, but I'm going to throw out the question anyway. Why do you think leaders don't always do that? Why do you think there's such this reflexive reaction? We got to offer full-time with benefits, and because then that becomes really challenging after week 3 when you realize, actually, this isn't the person that I saw on their Tinder profile. Like, this is not who I thought I was going to get. Like, they're a lot shorter than what I was expecting, right? Or whatever.
Where'd they get that filter?
Yeah, exactly. And then now unwinding that can be a little more challenging for everybody involved, including the employee, versus a contractor where you say, hey, no harm, no foul. This was a really great experience for both of us, and I wish you the best. So a little different. So I'm just curious your thoughts on that.
That's a great question. I believe part of that is probably a fear that person, what else are they doing? What are they doing on the side, right? Are they making a bunch of money doing something? Are they working for our competitor?
Oh.
You know, it's like, are they mine, right? Are we exclusive, even though we're not exclusive, right? It's kind of one of those. Probably like you extending the dating kind of example. It's like, are we both exclusive, or is just one of us exclusive? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so there's the great disalignment, but and also the transition. I'll just use an example. So Brian Rosenbaum, who's our chief development officer, who you know very well, he started out as a consultant to us because I knew Brian from a previous life, and he was running a consulting firm. And after about 6 months, I said, "Hey, Brian, I think we've got enough work now." He was running our Phoenix operations. So I think we've got enough work now. I really need someone full time, and not have these other distractions. And he said, "Well, that makes sense." Well, actually, the funny thing, the first thing he said to me is, "Well, I don't know if I really want to go back to working for a company." I said, "What's your hesitation?" And by the way, at this time we had like 6 or 7 employees, so it was, wasn't like we were this massive organization. And he said, I really want to be able to. I like the freedom, and I really want to be able to take my kid to soccer practice, in the afternoon, and not have to worry about somebody, watching the clock on me." And I said, "Brian, you know me. I don't care when you work or, how you get things done. I just want you to get things done." And so that made up his mind. But then the challenge we had at that point was he had all these clients and he was making revenue off of them, and he didn't want to break the contract with them. He said, I really want to finish these contracts out because A, I want to do what I said I was going to do, and B, or two, it's a lot of money for me. And I said, no problem. But I think a lot of companies would say, I don't like that. I want you to only work, I want you to only make money from me. And I've always kind of had the philosophy, as long as someone's getting their job done, if they want to do something on the side that isn't a conflict, why not let them do that and make a little bit extra money? And then at some point, hopefully they realize, which Brian did, there was more money to be had on this side, and it was a lot more fun. And I think it's beholden upon a leader on a company on making someone feel like their job is worthwhile and enjoyable and valuable. It's not the employee's job to do that. And if you do that, and if you're able to accomplish that, then they're going to want to come and work full time for you, if there's an alignment of personalities and interests, et cetera. So I think that's why we've had success, is just making this a great place to work. And once people see the inside, especially people who have been in the industry for a while, they want to be a part of it. And it's just that transition period.
So what I love also what you said there is, it's so ironic, because what you did was you said, hey, take all the freedom in the world that you need. I trust you completely. And then in return was you got loyalty and commitment.
Right.
Versus most companies say, no, you must be loyal and committed. And then so those people push back and become rebellious and want more freedom. Yeah. And, so it's almost by giving them space, you got what you needed and wanted out of that. And he did too. And that story has been true for everybody I speak to at Next Metro.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like life, right? I mean, if you give someone freedom and you treat people the way you want to be treated, then they appreciate it and it comes back to you. And I think that's very much the case with business. I think the big problem that companies have is they expect loyalty and they expect commitment, but they don't themselves display loyalty and commitment. To my first point, right? If an employee team member sees that you're kind of putting pressure on them for this commitment and like give up your life for the company, but then they see you treating other employees without that kind of level of commitment, they see the irony, they see the hypocrisy right away, and it just undermines your leadership. I think immediately. So, and I think our team, part of what our team has seen is our commitment to providing coaches to people who need improvement. Right? I mean, it's like we don't just let people go because they're underperforming. We say, hey, this person has potential, but they've got a few things they need to work on. Let's get them a coach and see if we can bring them around. And we've had success more times than we haven't, and that shows people our commitment to our employees and people we think have talent. So.